road ahead is uncertain, but the end is clear.
The expectations are impossibly high for HBO's Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. But I've got some good news. I've seen the first 6 episodes, and so far the show rises to the challenge, taking us right back to the world of Westeros with a familiar blend of graphic violence and political scheming, plus a lot more dragons. But I do have some nagging concerns. Let's get into it. Now, the prequel takes place 200 years before Game of Thrones, when Daenerys Targaryen's ancestors ruled Westeros with 17 dragons at their disposal. King Viserys sits on the Iron Throne and is forced to choose an heir, his unruly brother Daemon or his teen daughter Rhaenyra.
Promise to be faithful to King Viserys and to his named heir,
Princess Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Showrunner Ryan Condal and Thrones veteran director Miguel Sapochnik do a great job of bringing Westeros back to life, with all the savage brutality, harsh cynicism, rampant nudity, and vicious power grabs we've come to expect. Rhaenyra and her childhood friend Alicent Hightower see their bond strained by the whims of men, but all the women here are at the mercy of a rigid patriarchy. That concept gets repeatedly drilled into our heads with all the delicacy of the mountain crushing up, well, you remember. Now, one sticking point for me is the show's slow pace. The first 2 episodes could easily have been combined into one. The story is also a lot narrower in scope than Game of Thrones, focusing just on the Targaryens and their allies at court. Thrones gave us characters from all walks of life, but in this series, let's just say there are a lot of long blonde extensions. But underneath all that hair, there are plenty of standout performances, starting with Millie Alcock, who is captivating as young Rhaenyra. Matt Smith is equal parts charm and cruelty as her brooding uncle Daemon. But Emma Darcy and Olivia Cooke play the adult versions of Rhaenyra and Alicent and are being touted as the series' stars, and they aren't even introduced until episode 6. In fact, House of the Dragon takes several confusing time jumps. One week we skip ahead a few months, then a few years in the next episode, and that makes it hard to find our footing. The pace does pick up in later episodes with a number of shocking twists, but honestly, it all feels like prologue to a main story that is yet to get started. Having said all that, it's a major achievement that the series manages to recreate so much of what we loved about Game of Thrones. But it doesn't have that same spark of magic, at least not yet. So I'm giving House of the Dragon a B. For TVLine.com, I'm Dave Nemitz.